Welcome back to the channel. We just got done doing a YouTube live. So if you guys didn't know, we do some lives on YouTube. It was not very successful. We didn't have anyone log in, but at the end of the day, people will watch eventually. But anyways, this video, we are gonna work on the Grand Cherokee, the ZJ that we call Goldie. We got a wheeling event coming up, winter wheeling, because it's gonna be like 20 degrees. Don't think there's gonna be any snow, but it's gonna be cold. So we're gonna have to ditch this spare tire idea that we got going on right now and put that rear hatch back on. 1, exhaust. 2, dusty roads. 3, it's winter here in Minnesota. So we're gonna put that rear hatch back on, temporary. I do have a crazy idea that I wanna do with this Grand Cherokee here in the future. We'll see if that idea comes true or not, or if it's just, up in the noggin here. But first we gotta move the new project out of the garage. This is our XJ that we just picked up for 500 bucks. And we're gonna be doing some mods to this. This replaced the Liberty. We are in search of another Liberty. So if you guys know of anyone or are willing to gift a Liberty to the channel, this guy right here, pick us, because we wanna build another one. Back to the Grand Cherokee. We also have to ditch the half doors and we are building full doors. I will show you the montage right now of what we've done to these full doors so far, and then what we're gonna be doing here in this video to get these full doors back on the Grand Cherokee. How'd you guys like that montage? Quick, right? We still have a lot of work left to do to paint those doors and get those on the Grand Cherokee. First, let's get the spare wheel off. We're back working on the doors. I cut 1 inch off the bottom of these doors just because we have rock sliders, and I cut those doors. I did the tuck and fold on those doors, and I thought I'd do a little different approach on these doors. Cut the seam 1 inch off the bottom, which typically these doors here in Minnesota are rotten. And I think that's why I did the tuck and fold on there, because there was no materials on those doors. This one was pretty good shape, so I should have really kept it. Did a lot more work than I needed to do for 1 inch. With that being said, I want to give you a little tip that I learned while doing this seam welding. On this side, I was kind of just trying to stack dimes, but I would get blow through, as you can see in here. So I'd have to stack and it would blow through the thin metal. On this side, I started tack welding, and then I'd weld to the tack weld, then weld to the weld, then weld to the weld, instead of welding on top of a weld and, like I said, stacking dimes. So this approach worked a lot better, and it looks a lot better. I'm no welder. I don't know if this is stronger. I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but it worked for us. So welding from the fresh metal to the weld worked the best, instead of trying to stack on top of the welds on this side. So let's clean this door up a little bit. I got some paint. We're gonna paint these white doors maroonish. I didn't buy paint that matched this. I was told it was gonna be either $150 to $300 to get the matching code for this paint. We ain't gonna do that. I paid 200 bucks for this Jeep. I spent 40, for maroonish. Hopefully it's not terribly different. So let's prepare the door and paint these. Well, look what we did. We painted a door maroon. That doesn't match our Jeep. Like I said earlier, they wanted $150 to $300 for a pint of matching paint. So, described what they had on the shelf, and what do you guys think? Better than white. So now you guys will watch me struggle to put this heavier door on the Jeep, and then we can paint the bottom to see what we got going on. Maybe the white doors do look better. Not really feeling that maroon. I mean, I kind of like the maroon more than this purplish maroon, but it's obviously not the same. Let's paint the bottom of this with some rock guard, some undercoating, and see if it makes it a little bit better. Tell you one thing, it's gonna be nice to have windows in full doors when we're winter wheeling. And the heater in this Cherokee works mint, so pretty stoked about that. Before we do a little masking and painting here, I wanted to tell you how sweet this little table worked. Well, the half doors are super light and really easy to take off. Little shelf was about the same height as the bottom of that door, so it worked out mint. Prop it up, flip it up, throw 4 bolts in that door, should be good. It worked out mint. And we have the DOG in the house. Stretch it out, girl. Oh. Well, it's a little better. I'm definitely going to be moving to that maroon. That maroon looks a lot better after we throw that black rock guard, that undercoating, underneath the door. Yeah. And if I can buy that off the shelf, I might just buy a couple cans of it and start touching up the paint. I told you, well, this was a live stream, but I mentioned that I want to do something radical in the back half here. The back half might soon be the same color as the maroon of the door, but then we have the half doors, the hood, and the roof. Anyways, you guys are gonna be proud of me. Look what I did over here. Yeah, I reused my Dollar General masking tape. Pulled it from the other side and put it on the passenger side. I knew you'd be proud. We got the rear hatch back in the garage. And I was wondering, where did I put the bolts to mount the hinges back on the Jeep? Smart me. I put the bolts back in the hinges. Well, that saves me about an hour trying to find bolts to mount the hatch again. So that was smart past me. Future me, don't know what we're gonna do there. So let's see if we can mount the hatch again and see if we're hacking out the bottom of this, or we're gonna latch it, because, you know, past me again. Wasn't so smart and used that rear latch for that tire mount. I'm just all over the board today. All right, let's get this mounted. Struggled on that one. I was able to get the rear hatch up by myself. Started 2 bolts, and then I put the shocks in, thinking I could start the other 2 bolts. No, those shocks are strong. It like pushed the hinges back, and I could barely get, well, I couldn't. I had to take the other 2 bolts off and the shocks and start over and not put those shocks in until last, which makes sense. By the way, chicken nugget, stole this one from one of the kids, but do you guys put sriracha on your chicken nuggets? Pretty good. Now comes for the cutting of the tailgate. Actually, this tailgate is in pretty good shape besides this region right here. The plastics are all good on it. Not sure about the wiper motor. Going to delete that. But under here, all the plastic's good and all intact. Carpet's good. All the screws are still in here. And yeah, surprisingly good shape. So I'm gonna try to keep the plastic, you know, because we have more of these Jeeps. Or if you guys ever need one, reach out. I got parts too. So let's remove the plastic, and I gotta keep this bar. This back of the corner is completely rotted out and it's kind of holding it all together. I'm thinking I might ditch the spare tire holder and just slide the tire from underneath right now until we rework this whole situation on the rear of this Jeep. So let's remove the plastic and kind of just go from there. We got the rear hatch gutted. When I took the rear wiper off, I just grabbed that big old nut with a big old wrench and tried to take it off. It bent the heck out of that hole. Otherwise, everything else came off pretty easy. All the interior wires are gutted. Everything is deleted from this rear hatch. So I'm gonna cut the bottom off. If plans go accordingly, I will be cutting this bottom half anyways when I rework this rear. So might as well just cut it now. And like I said earlier, this is all trash down there. And the floor is trash in the back of the Jeep. So a lot of things have to happen in the future. Go at it now and hack the hatch. I'm taking one shock off because now that we have a half of a hatch, these shocks are way too strong. You can barely close the half hatch door. And I don't know what Jeep was thinking when they made these bolts. You need a 12 point, and I don't have a 12 point socket, so I had to use a 12 point wrench and a quarter. Yeah, that was painful. With one less shock, there's one shock, there's no shock. This should close a lot easier. Bammo! I like that. Now what do we do from here? Spare tire mount is in the way. So I'm thinking about, let's fix this. I just welded like 3 times out. We went wheeling, and there's a nasty squeak in this hatch back here. Well, the hatchless area where the spare tire was. And welds were just cracked on these crappy rusty plates. So I just re-welded all this to make them much stronger. Now I'm hacking it off. Full circle, right? So let's figure out what we need to cut off so we can close this half hatch. Well, looky, kind of looks like a Jeep again. Got the rear hatch on, full doors, and we're ready for winter wheeling. I'm gonna end the video here. I want to cut more of that bottom, I think, a little bit higher. Like I said earlier, I do plan on moving a lot of this rear in different areas. Just don't know where to cut that line yet for that rear hatch. Just stuff the spare tire underneath for now. We are gonna do a tank tuck or a different tank eventually. So I am just gonna go get some of those latches and just latch on the outside for now. Not pretty, but it will get us through the weekend. get us by until the next stage for whatever is gonna happen in the rear of this Cherokee. So, got a couple days. We go winter wheeling. There is snow in the forecast, so that would be pretty rad. If it snowed, it wouldn't be much, but it'd be fun to go play in the snow again with the Grand Cherokee. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time. Those should last for about 10 minutes out in the woods.